Internet, the Legend Hunters are here!
Wait, this isn't our usual podcast time.
That is exactly correct, sir.
So what are we doing here?
Well, the thankful people at Smogon have managed to find a hacker who cracked open the ORAS demo from Japan.
Wait,
And
what?
like the Easter egg surprise that we were expecting, well, there's just so much that we needed to cover, and it's not going to fit in a regular podcast.
So they managed to go ahead and not only find out details about the demo, but more importantly, they found out all the stat upgrades for each of the currently announced megas, including Primal, Groudon, and Kyogre.
Ooh,
So-
I'm intrigued.
Yes, we are.
Are we sure this hack is legit, though?
Well, considering it comes from Smogon, which is a legitimate competitive Pokemon community, we can accredit this to a good source.
Furthermore, Smogon itself is already using these numbers in the Pokemon Battle Simulation, in the Pokemon Online Simulator. So they're already pre-testing with this stuff as I speak.
Huh.
That being said, there is nothing that can prevent Nintendo from going ahead and switching it on us right before the launch date. There is nothing to prevent them from doing that.
True, although that would be kind of weird for them to do that, but then again, this is Nintendo.
Anyway,
Weirdness is their job.
So overall, this is based on the leaks from Smogon. These are our thoughts on the new megas, and we will go ahead, and these can be subject to change if Nintendo or Game Freak decides to.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, we found this an entire blast.
Yes.
Yeah, Leo and Legend were spending countless hours working on gathering notes and data, as well as figuring out what the hell each and every one of these Pokemon are capable of.
As well as predicting whether or not they're going to actually make an impact on the game.
I, however, was busy playing Dark Souls and getting my ass both kicked and triumphantly beating Ornstein and Smaug.
Didn't we mention in the last podcast?
No, this
No.
happened after it.
Yeah, that happened immediately. That happened afterwards.
Ah, okay. In that
So-
case, congratulations.
Yeah.
And the rest of the game now awaits you.
Yes.
So now we'll go ahead and have more on on what happened during that in the actual podcast. For now, let's go straight into the Pokemon.
And starting off the bat, we have the Hoenn starters, one of whom we've already accounted for, so let's go with the new ones. Sceptile, who gets an increase to his physical attack, special attack, slight defense, and 25 to his speed, putting his speed at a whopping 145 base total.
So we've got ourselves a real speedy grass type.
Extremely. He also gets an upgrade to his typing and becomes the only grass dragon in the game.
Now, this is very significant because he has a lot of. He already can do Dragon Pulse and Outrage and Dragon Claw off the bat.
But now he gets STAB off of it.
Which probably means he's also going to get more access to different moves.
Well,
That would save him. But we'll get to that in a bit.
Odds are he might actually get access to Draco Meteor.
That is one thing we are looking for.
yeah, we were saying based off Ampharos, who also got who became Electric Dragon and also got access to Draco Meteor. We're thinking that this will happen the same way as well.
But it's not a guarantee. That said, if we do see a Draco Meteor, it will be fired off of a 145 base stat special attack.
Which would get boosted if you used its Lightning Rod ability.
Oh yes, and that's another fun thing. If you zap this thing,
It's speed or is it speed and special attack?
It's
It's special attack.
only.
Oh, okay, special attack.
But still,
but yeah, a 145 suddenly gets a 1.5 boost, and in so many words,
hell will be unleashed.
yes.
okay, so definitely this is a Pokemon I'm just going through some of the moves that it has. It gets access to Sword Stance. It has a plethora of physical attack moves that it can abuse off that 115 attack.
Well, 110 attack.
110 attack.
You're looking at your Pokedex, Leo?
Yep, definitely. And it has a plethora of attacks. I mean, Focus Blast, Energy Ball, Earthquake, X Scissor. It definitely has an abusive move pool. It even has Iron Tail and Thunder Punch.
Now, I noticed that a lot of those are physical, and I haven't actually talked about that. But yeah, this thing actually has a usable 110 physical attack.
So we could actually see this as a pretty decent mixed attacker as well.
Yeah,
Possibly.
yeah. If it hits you with a special attack and you send out a special wall, it can nail your weaker physical defense.
I think it's kind of interesting because I'm thinking Home Claws with Something along the lines of Leaf Storm, Outrage.
Heck, put work up on this thing. Watch what happens.
Oh god, that's going to be nasty.
I don't think it actually gets work up.
It doesn't?
I'm going through it. It doesn't get it.
Shoot.
No, it gets the only way it can boost its attacks, its stats, is with Home Claws. However, it does get Synthesis and Giga Drain, which I both completely forgot about.
Didn't you also say it gets Sword Stance?
Yes, it gets Sword
Well,
Stance.
yeah, it gets
Okay.
Sword Stance because it's got Leaf Blade.
Well, not necessarily because it has Leaf Blade, but it's nice to have alongside it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got a lot of pros, but it also has an equally large number of cons.
It's 4 times weak to ice.
And its priority is definitely not going to get rid of Mamoswine before it eats an ice shard to the
Well,
face.
keep in mind, what other there's a lot of nasty dragon types that are 4 times weak to ice.
Yeah, but this is also a Pokemon who's 2 times weak to Gale Wings.
Yep.
That's true, as well as also 2 times weak to any fairy moves as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's another problem with fairies in that it doesn't have an STAB option outside of, say, Azumarill for taking them down.
Right, but like I said before, it still has Iron Tail. And with Home Claws, that actually becomes less of an issue.
True.
Right.
That steel move will end up sending that fairy into oblivion.
Yeah, and it'll also help patch up its piddling defenses. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not Carvana levels of
I mean, it was never bad to begin with.
Yeah, like
just-
its physical defense is 75 and special is 85.
yeah, which
Well,
is
within
not
the mega form.
which is not horrible, but it's not outstanding. So compared to the offensive juggernauts and defensive juggernauts we're going to be dealing with later on the list, this is fairly low.
That being said, there's only a handful of Pokemon that can outspeed this thing, and even fewer and even more have to rely on priority.
Uh-huh.
Right, but if it runs into a wall that can counterattack, it's going to be forced to switch.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's that. And on top of that, Grass Dragon does have shortcomings besides its weaknesses.
Alright.
Fire types are going to be a problem.
Not anymore. No, they
Remember...
neutral coverage to fire now.
Neutral coverage to fire, fair enough. But what about steel?
It's still fine.
It's still fine if it's on the ground. If it's, say, Skarmory, then you're going to run into problems because Earthquake won't hit it, and Grass and Dragon will not touch it.
True. So Skarmory, it would be a good counter to this guy.
Well, a good stop, but the ultimate counter would definitely be Bronzong, who not only resists the physical type attacks, but the special ones as well. So Bronzong, again, just hard counters this thing.
Huh. Been a while since I've heard
I wouldn't-
Bronzong being mentioned.
I wouldn't say that, considering the fact that Bronzong can't do much either. I mean, Steel types aren't going to do super effective damage to Grass, and Earthquake can be absorbed by it. So I mean, it's not. It's more.
Gyro Ball.
It's more of a stalemate situation than anything else.
I say to you, Gyro Ball.
And I should also reiterate that you seem to forget the Bronzong that was on my stall team.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, even though, I mean, the thing about Bronzong is, for one, have you seen the amount of fire types running around the field?
Well, yeah.
Bronzong, well,
Unless it has fireproof attached to it, which is kind of stupid considering...
which then puts it on the ground. So
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there are Pokemon that are definitely going to be giving it problems, but that's why you have team support to fill it out. Unless it's specific Pokemon in which we're talking, if you do not switch out right away, you're going to get your ass handed to you on a Poké Platter. You don't have to worry about it.
Mhm.
But again, you're not going to do much to Bronzong, and you are still going to be forced to switch, whereupon it will set up on you, paralyze you with Thunder Wave, which
What
is the
about-
last thing you want.
Okay, what about
But then again, Thunder Wave does make a Lightning Rod boost, so that's not a problem. But yeah, this thing,
HP Fire
Hidden Power Fire,
off of a 145 special attack?
which is nice,
We're done.
but it's not going to kill Bronzong.
Have you ran the numbers?
Alright, enough talking about this, let's move on to our next Pokemon, which is...
The Juggernaut, bitch!
It's going to be banned. I predict this thing is going to be banned.
Let's see, Mega Swampert, if I may look at the notes.
Fair enough.
Let's see, Mega Swampert gets a plus 40 to attack, plus 20 to defense, plus 10 to special attack, plus 20 to speed.
So remember how annoying it used to be to have to choose between Ice Beam and Ice Punch, because on the one hand Ice Punch was weaker, and on the other hand Ice Beam meant you had to use special attack? This remedies both.
Yeah. Let's see, HP 100, attack 150, defense 110.
Go back for a second. Attack at base 150!
Yep.
What the hell?
Which it puts it on par with Rampardos in terms of power.
Yikes, that's kind of nasty.
With a higher speed.
Yes!
And usable special attack.
Oh,
And bulk! Don't forget the bulk!
bulk and power. And let's not forget, it actually does get a speed boost
Yes.
in the rain.
If it finds itself under stormy weather, that base speed will basically be at 140,
Yeah.
which is 5 points under Septile, which means it will still get outrun even in the rain. But anything else is going to be reaching for its brown pants. Seriously.
Yeah, this thing is. I picture this heading into a band along with Mega Blaziken.
Well, it does have an impressive move pool. I mean, aside from Earthquake and Waterfall, it has access to Iron Tail, Ice Punch, Low Kick, Superpower, Outrage,
Oh
Stealth
god,
Rock.
Earthquake on this thing is just going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, if you're on the ground, you're basically done.
Yeah.
Unless you have ridiculous defenses and the resistance.
It also
to
has
boom.
access to Sludge Wave for some reason.
Why the hell not? We need something to take care of.
Think so.
More Pokemon need more poison moves now that we have fairies on the field.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
Definitely, this Pokemon is going to be a terror for anything physically based.
And the specially based ones are also going to run into nightmares.
I don't think so. No.
No, it doesn't have a terribly good special attack, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
only-
terribly bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got a
but remember-
95 special attack, which is...
Yeah, but you mentioned talking about being 5 points under a specific reptile we just mentioned before.
But as you also said, that's why we have team support.
so
So your point is back up on you, my friend.
No. You're the one going in and giving me that bullshit earlier.
Oh, dear God. Alright.
So-
One-on-one, this
it-
thing will lose to grass types just as before. But it's still going to be a nightmare to deal with if you get hit with an ice beam on the switch.
If this thing does not get banned, what do you think about tournament support for it?
Well,
Well, it's going to have to be a
we haven't even talked about what this thing is capable of. And it's actually capable of doing one of two things. Either A, it runs in the rain and gets the base 140 speed, which is a nightmare, and turns this thing into a juggernaut.
Yeah.
But if you don't mind speed drop, this thing also got access to Curse, which turns this thing into a physical tank. No, not tank. This thing is a behemoth that cannot be slaughtered thanks to that ridiculous 100 and 110 defense. Which, of course, it also complements with a 1.5 boost to its physical attack, which is already ridiculous as is. So watch this thing just steamroll, fat rolling its way through your team.
Oh,
The
back
only-
to Dark Souls again.
The only thing that's missing from this thing is a reliable way to Estus Flask.
Yes, it is missing HP recovery, but to be fair, it doesn't need it.
Doesn't learn rest.
It does learn rest, but
outside
rest.
of that, but it's still unreliable.
Yes,
True.
rest puts you to
Unreliable
sleep.
as
So
fuck.
Rest and sleep talk.
you could do that, but it would not
Or
be
you could do it
recommended.
like... No, you can't really...
How
even
many
do it.
times have let me tell you? I tried using Rest Talk once. I think it was on Snorlax. I think I had a Rest Talk Snorlax set and I did a Crocoon set at one point. And I cannot count the number of times I've lost because Sleep Talk decided to select Rest 4 or 5 times in a row.
So yeah, there
It
is that.
sucks.
Yeah.
But the good news,
It is kind of a gamble, but heck, I used the Restock Snorlax on my stall team and I beat the fuck out of you.
you keep bringing up that stall team, my friend.
It was my best team in Gen 4. And it whipped both your asses. That was my crowning achievement as a Pokemon trainer.
And that was the last time that Zero battled competitively.
Well,
No.
there is one other Mega Pokemon that is going to definitely be competing with this thing. I don't want to mention it yet because we haven't gotten there, but it is something to note, especially since this other Pokemon can actually recover.
Alright then, so next on our list we have...
the
This-
one no one ever asked for, but the one we all needed.
Yes, Mega Beedrill.
Let me just say, Nintendo sure knows how to throw a fucking curveball.
And
Because this thing came right out of left field.
okay, who is throwing the curveball? Because the way I see it, this is a ball that got hit out of the park. Okay, so Beedrill's stats right off the bat.
Here's what happened. Game 3 threw the curveball, and Nintendo hit it out of the park. Sorry, continue.
Okay, so Beedrill's stats are, at first you don't see much if you're looking at it defensively, especially compared to Swampert. It's got base 65, 40, and 145. No, wait a minute. It has 65, 40, and 80
defenses.
Yes, which suck.
Yeah.
This thing is a glass Pokemon. However, discounting its crappy 15 special attack, which we are not going to cover,
Yeah.
this thing got 150
Physical attack.
and 145 speed, putting it on par with attack power from Swampert and speed from Sceptile.
Yeah.
So
This thing just became the most brittle glass cannon you could ever imagine.
So, does this thing actually have any moves?
Yes, it does, because now
Wait, we didn't even cover its best part.
its ability,
Yes.
adaptability.
Which doubles.
Well, it turns a 1.5 STAB move
Into
into
a
a 2.
So instead of hitting with a plus 60 attack, with a... Okay, if it's a base 60 attack, like say Pursuit, and it has STAB...
Pursuit has base 60, sir?
Okay, I don't have the
Base
exact
40.
number.
Base 40.
Base
Okay,
40.
if it's base 40, then with the STAB, it would be a 60 base power.
Wait, Pursuit's a dark type.
If it has STAB, as I said.
Yes.
But if you have that Pursuit,
With adaptability,
then it would basically be a base 80 move.
which is actually pretty decent.
Not only decent,
Well-
but that could be threatening.
Here's a better idea with an actual stab that it can use, Poison Jab, which its base 80 under stab, it would normally become base 120. With adaptability, it becomes 160 off of 150 physical attack.
Just say that one more time.
Base 160
What
power.
the hell? And then
off
top.
of 150 physical attack.
That is a nightmare in and of itself.
We haven't reached the best part yet. It also has coverage move in the form of Drill Run.
Which means that if you're a steel type that thinks you can get away with switching in on it, think again. You're about to get
A huge chunk of your life drilled out of you.
Did I forget to mention that this also lands critical hits more easily?
Oh shit! Oh god damn it! So add that 2 times, and then another 2 times.
It also has Swords Dance for the Pokemon you really want to be a dick to.
Well, to be fair,
Although
this thing is
you got to make sure it can survive that sword stance.
It's a funny thing you mentioned that this Pokemon also learns Roost.
you're not going to. Okay, stop right there. Number 1, this thing's defenses won't support that.
True.
Number 2, if you let this thing stay on the field too long, Talonflame's going to come out and annihilate it.
How about Agility?
Number 3, Talonflame has priority Brave Bird.
Especially with Gale Wings.
However, if Talonflame were to switch in on a Poison Jab, it might very well be one-hit KO.
Here's the thing. This Mega Beedrill's designed to basically draw out Talonflame from what I've seen.
If you switch in Talonflame on an attack, it's going to die.
Also,
but
there is a move that I do think will be really good for Mega Beedrill.
U-turn?
Well, that too, but Bell Stinger.
Yes, Spell Stinger.
It's normally a base 30 move that if you KO the Pokemon with that move, it gets a Sword Stance boost.
But thanks to adaptability, that's basically a base 60 move,
Which is
off of 150 physical attack.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
So I can actually see that move going on there as a substitute for Sword Stance.
Yeah, I could reasonably agree with you on that.
There is another thing that this thing could run, and that is Twin Needle, which also gets STAB and has the ability to annihilate Pokemon beyond a substitute.
Which
Twin
basically-
Needle can hit up to 5 times.
No, Twin Needle only
Oh,
hits
wait, 2
twice.
times.
It only hits twice. It's
But-
basically a Bug-type double kick.
Or Pin Missile.
Yeah, it does learn Pin Missile.
Pin Missile would
Which
be
basically becomes 28 base power for 2 to 5 hits, which is 50 at its worst, and about a little bit under 125
At its
at
best.
its best. It's a bit unreliable, but it's there.
Yeah.
It is there, and it does annihilate through substitute. But I honestly like Twin Needle better because it does the poison type, status if it gets lucky. But yeah, what we're looking at is basically the Spartacus to the fairy type Roman invasion.
All we're missing is a freaking gunk shot, and that thing will be terrifying.
Okay, why don't you clue us in on gunk shot?
It doesn't have gunk shot, but gunk shot is a base 120, 75% accuracy physical poison attack.
And that's why we're not seeing it on this thing.
Yeah, 120. That would become a 240 off of 150. Gosh.
That would basically put even its counters to rest and ban the thing entirely.
Yeah.
So we're not doing that.
Yeah, I think Nintendo and Game Freak have at least some semblance of balance, because that's what they're trying to do with all these megas.
Well, that comes with the next Pokemon, who...
Well, hang on, we didn't talk about balance with this thing. I mean, it has poor defenses, but there's another thing that it has that is a problem. This thing is a nightmare to dark types and psychic types, true, but psychic types can KO it back.
Yeah.
And look at all its different weaknesses.
I kind of want to point out...
Let's see, let me read them off.
I think
Rock, Psychic, Flying, Fire.
And how often do we see those in the metagame?
Let's see, Stealth Rock very often. Psychic, not as common as it should be, but it's there. Let's see, Flying.
Gale Wings!
Yeah, basically Talonflame. And Fire,
Also Talonflame, but...
Also Talonflame, but I know quite a few Pokemon that run at least either Flamethrower or Fire Blast.
Granted, the only major Pokemon I found that would really be a bother to Mega Beedrill is Mega Alakazam.
Really?
And Talonflame.
Well, those two, yeah, those are like the two...
Because everything else has to deal with freaking 145 base speed.
However, you can also...
The problem with it, that Legend did not bring up, was the fact you have to still Mega Evolve this thing.
Yes.
Which is not as big of a problem, because if it Mega Evolves, it gets access to its attack and can annihilate with it.
But if you kill it on the switch in, this thing has only half of its Mega Form stats. Which means that you're very vulnerable for the one turn that you're not Mega Beedrill.
But there are ways to get it.
So what you do is you either bring it out on the first turn, Mega Evolve it, and then unleash Hell, and make it like a suicidal lead.
Or you have to U-turn it in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which is viable beyond belief.
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm actually or Volt Switch.
Volt switch it, Volt turn it in one way or the other. But again, that would be one of the biggest things. And again, keep in mind, I just said that Beedrill has access to agility, so its main threats are going to be priority abusers and anything that can actually take 150 physical attack.
Which is... There's a few of them.
I can name two that are going to be the biggest nightmares for this thing.
But we'll come back to those later because they're later in the list.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Skarmory and Heatran?
I was going to go with Mega Slowbro and Mega Steelix.
Mega Slowbro, I'm going to discount thanks to the fact that it is weak to bug type attacks.
Yeah, but then it flamethrowers and then it dies. And it can't...
Slowbro?
Yeah, it flamethrowers freaking this and it dies.
Okay, you're going to have to show me where Slowbro got flamethrower from.
Yeah, dude, it has flamethrower. You did not know that? I will happily show you the mesmerizing feature of anyway.
Next on our list is Mega Pidgeot.
Yes, thank you, Zero.
This thing I'm a little iffy about. Let's see. It gets plus 10 to defense, plus 65 to special attack, plus 10 to special defense, and plus 20 to speed, making it, in its stats, 83 HP.
Boom, flamethrower.
Son of a bitch, why does it have that?
Because it can.
Damn it, Kanto Pokemon.
Alright, let me redo it. Okay, Mega Pidgeot has 83 HP, 80 attack, 80 defense, 135 special attack, 80 special defense, and 121 speed.
Okay, so reading off its stats is one thing, but the important stats that this thing has are its special attack at 135 and speed at 121.
Which is kind of odd, because first off, most of Pidgeot's moveset is physical.
Which is one problem.
However, it does have the ability No Guard, which I will say gives it one extremely good special attack move. Hurricane.
Hurricane normally is a base 70 accuracy move,
Unless it's in the rain.
in which case it gets 100 base accuracy. Hurricane also, I believe, has the ability to cause confusion, which is awesome. However, even with that amazing STAB move, it's still got problems in the fact that it does not pack the coverage moves to take out its counters.
Mainly fighting type attack.
Yeah, what it needs is a Focus Blast.
Which would be spectacular with no guard. A never-missing focus miss. Just imagine that. Focus Blast has base 120 power. This thing would be a monster on the battlefield if it got that move.
So I would say like Hurricane,
Heat Wave,
Heat
Focus
Wave,
Blast.
Focus Blast. Won't be a good fourth move.
You got Roost, Tailwind, or Upward, depending on the flavor.
True, Roost would give it survivability.
You can even U-turn if you want to, just so you can go ahead and
And
volt switch.
conserve your momentum too, yep.
True.
Though then again, switching in on this thing would be a nightmare thanks to that STAB combo.
Keep in mind, the biggest thing that all this is surrounding is the potential that a Pidgey can shoot a Kamehameha.
Yes.
But outside of that,
Unless it ends up learning Aura Sphere or Focus Blast.
this thing's not going to shine.
No, it's not. So, Nintendo, I hope you're hearing this and start working on that. Because it's a good concept, but
you need more.
it needs more potential.
No, it's got the potential.
It's got the
it needs
potential.
the moves.
Yeah.
That's what it needs.
Yeah, it needs to go training.
Okay.
Alright, so next on our list is
Finally, this thing.
Mega Slowbro, which is the derpiest looking Mega Evolution I've ever seen.
But prepare to tear your hair out when you see it.
Yeah, let's see. Before it had a 110 it had a base 110 defense. It's now base 180. Gets a plus 30 to its special attack, putting it at 130.
That's not why we're here.
No.
No, this thing got 180 defense. Just stop right there.
I know very few Pokemon that have that ludicrous amount of defense.
On top of it all,
The only thing I know that has even more ridiculous defense is Shuckle.
yeah.
And defensive Deoxys, but
Still, it has an impressive move pool. That being said, with such notable moves as Scald, Flamethrower, Focus Blast.
yes, for some ungodly reason it got
Psychic
Flamethrower.
Shadow Ball, Ice Beam also.
Okay, but
However-
starting off the bat, Scald goes ahead and increases that ridiculous base 180.
When it burns the opponent.
Well, not that base 180, 130 for its special.
No, I'm talking about its defenses because of the burn. Scald can burn you. So if this thing hits you with it, you have a chance of getting even less physical damage off of this thing.
Yeah.
Secondly, there is also Flamethrower, which provides perfect coverage alongside Scald.
Yes, and nails its freaking grass type counters.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing because its 80 special defense is not going to do it any favors.
Unless
Unless
you decide to use Amnesia.
Which doubles its to 160,
Off of a single boost.
which means you never have to switch out again.
The only major problem with this thing is it is slow as fuck.
Yeah, 30 base speed isn't doing anything unless you're doing Trick Room.
It's spinning like a top, yet it doesn't move much faster.
Well, it's called slow, bro. What were you expecting?
I have no idea what I was expecting. Also, kind of a sad point for this Pokemon, it gave up Regenerator for Shell Armor as its ability.
But it still has Slack Off. And after the aforementioned Amnesia boost and Slack Off, is there anything left in the game that can KO it?
Amnesia, Slack Off, Scald, and Flamethrower.
It's actually a toss-up between this thing and Beedrill at this point. A toss-up against 150 attack.
A toss-up between a bee that we never thought we'd see in the metagame and a slow, derpy Pokemon which I would never normally use.
Actually, Slowbro was actually viable back
I know
in
it
the day,
was.
believe
I
it
know
or
it
not.
was viable back in the day, but I'm talking about nowadays. Well,
Generation 1, it was very popular, declined in 2, sank in 3, was okay in 4. At 5, when they gave it Regenerator, it came back up.
At least 2 underused. Now this thing's going to be on every team.
Actually,
if
it
it's
was
not running
it
offense.
was overused, and Slow King was underused, mainly because the more defensive of the two brothers won out.
Yeah, because Slowking wasn't terribly standoutish.
Yeah.
It wasn't terribly bulky. It had higher special. It had higher special attack, but it didn't make up for the weaker defenses.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Next up on our list is a Pokemon which apparently the UK and European folk are going to get in the demo.
Oh, which one?
Mega Steelix.
Mega Steelix, yes.
Well, what can we say about this thing?
The fact that it actually now has physical defense on terms with Shuckle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah. Shuckle has base 230 defense. This thing's got base 230 defense. It gets plus 40 to its attack, plus 30 to its defense, plus 30 to its special defense.
Which is good for the special defense.
Because now it's got a base 95 special defense, which means it can actually take a better flame to the face.
Right.
But I wouldn't leave it facing a flamethrower or a Heatran.
Even better, it has Sand Force as its attack move.
Which means that
Or
not
is it
only
ability?
are you taking constant chip damage if you're not if you don't have Sand Veil or a Rock, Steel, or Ground type, but you're also going to be facing an Earthquake that basically puts it around on par with a freaking Swampert attack.
Not to mention with STAB Iron Tail, it's going to go ahead and deal lots of damage. Did I mention this thing as Rock Polish?
Because it needs it.
Yeah.
Base. Actually, what is it going to do with a Rock Pulse? It's at base 30.
Goes ahead and outruns the aforementioned Slowbro.
Yes, because
Yeah, that's
outrunning Slowbro is a problem.
This thing and Mega Slowbro have the same speed.
Which I think is still going to outrun.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling it would because of freaking Steel Snake.
Yeah. But the thing about this thing is that it does also have additional problems compared to other Pokemon with ridiculous defenses.
Yeah.
For instance, Mega Aggron.
Mm-hmm.
Mega Aggron has, well,
I think it might be about the same level, or was it like 250?
whatever its defenses are. Why don't we go ahead and look
I don't have the actual one open. I'm using the Pokemon 3D Pro, so I don't have the Megas in here. But what I can tell you at the very least is the biggest problem for Mega Steelix is that it lacks, even though it has Edgequake combo, it doesn't have a lot otherwise.
Right. It's a one-trick pony. It gets out there, it tanks, it throws rocks in your face, and then if you're not dead,
and unless it decides to invest in Iron Head or Iron Tail, then fairies aren't going to be. Diancie is not going to have too much of a problem with this.
True.
Well, Diancie is always going to have a problem with steel types, regardless of whether or not they're
hitting with it or not.
exactly.
And I mean, the big problem with this is because at least Aggron had Filter, which means that even super effective special attacks were taken down a notch.
And not to mention that it gave up its rock type subtype.
So it has less weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is going to have more weaknesses, take more damage from special attacks, and it's going to have more problems.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, yeah, it's Steelix, but bigger.
Bigger, and now has crystals shooting out of its sides, which is kind of awesome.
Kind of awesome, but
Is that blue ice?
No. Although speaking of crystals, let's go on to our next Pokemon.
nice segue, bro.
Yeah.
Why won't you let me get the Heisenberg joke in?
What?
The blue crystals on freaking Mega Steelix, the blue ice that Walter White sells.
You know you're talking to two guys who've never seen Breaking Bad.
I thought you guys would know what meth looks like if it's staring at you in the face.
Especially me, because I carry it or work.
Yeah. And moving on, Mega Sableye, which is a...
The biggest troll to ever troll around the troll shop.
Yes!
Thank you for putting it so bluntly.
Let's see. This thing was OU before it got a Mega.
Because of its trickster ability.
Its Prankster ability does give it priority to all non-attacking moves, including Recover, Taunt,
Confuse Rate, Mean Look, any sort of boosting moves.
Will-O-Wisp, Substitute,
Rest.
Protect, because it needed more priority off of Protect.
It also got that priority swagger that used to be so infamous on Liepard.
Oh, and by the way, it also gets Foul Play, just because It likes to be like Liepard in that
Yeah.
regard.
So
Priority trick also.
Yeah, but in Mega form, something interesting happened. It gave up that prankster ability.
and
Gasp.
got Magic Bounce, which is an ability that reflects all status inflicting moves. Like you try to burn it, you get burned. You try to paralyze it, you get paralyzed back.
But it does not end there. For instance, this Pokemon also reflects entry hazards. So if you switch this thing out on Forretress now shits its pants.
So you try to do spikes,
You now have spikes on your side of the field.
Stealth Rock,
You now have Stealth Rock on your side of the field.
Poison Spikes,
You now have Poison Spikes on your side of the field.
which is nasty. And not to mention the other nasty bit is
It's a ghost type, which means you can't rapid spin this
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
it's a ghost and it's a dark. And not only that, but let's talk about its stat boost. It gets plus 10 to attack, meh, plus 50 to defense, plus 20 to special attack, and plus 50 to speed, so special defense.
So
and
it's-
minus 30 to its speed.
It didn't need the speed. At this point, it doesn't need speed.
Yeah.
This is now on par with Dusknoir in terms of defensiveness, with a little bit of an exception with its special defense, but a much better ability.
Yeah.
Because this thing outright forces Pokemon like Forretress to switch out, and can shut down said Pokemon with Prankster. So, yeah, this thing is about as nightmarish as you can get.
So what you could do at first is do all your prankster stuff at first. Then when some oh shit stuff starts coming your way, Mega Evolve.
Which is one way to run this thing, but honestly, I think that it would be better off either running one way or running the other.
Mhm.
Because Mega Sableye does have that Magic Bounce, it has the defensive capabilities, but it also needs the ability to run said abilities.
Yeah.
It also has kind of a 4-slot syndrome if you want to make it support heavy, so you run into problems late game.
Right.
That being said, it also has nasty plots.
Because it needs to boost its 80 special attack
85
to...
special attack to basically 170.
Yeah, that would basically sum about up. But what are you doing with 20 base speed, I ask you?
Well, you can take the hit and then dish out hell.
Oh, I know what you can do. You can do a priority trick room, Mega, and do a nasty plot, and then from there just run.
Oh god.
That's one way to run it. It's not impossible, and it does have a surprise factor. But again, there's a lot of possibilities with this thing.
You could either go surprise, or you could go defense, or you could do a combination of the
What do
two.
you mean you could run surprise? You're always going to be surprised by this thing.
Yes.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, because you have no idea what the hell it's going to be armed with.
That being said, fairies.
Yeah, fairies
Yeah.
are its one weakness, but
that's
ghost types are still going to nail every single fairy for at least neutral damage.
yeah. So it does take neutral damage
To ghost type attacks, and a Shadow
Actually-
Ball is going to suck.
Actually, I just thought of something. What happens when you have 2 magic bouncers on the same on the field?
I think it doesn't. That's a good question. If people know in the comments, please let us know.
Because
Actually,
I
I'm
was
pretty
just
sure it is.
I was just thinking about it because Mega Sableye versus Mega Absol.
And one uses taunt.
No, Mega Absol uses Play Rough, which is
Mega
a base
Absol uses
90
Play Rough.
fairy type move.
Huh.
Well, Absol would be the only Pokemon, one of the few Pokemon that can actually shut it down.
Huh.
Yeah, so Mega Absol would shut it down quite nicely, yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said,
But again, I'm actually Zero brings up a good point. What happens when two mega magic bouncers pop into the field?
and
and
like
when-
one casts Will-O-Wisp.
and one uses taunt, or one uses one of those priority moves that would be reflected by.
I predict they would be reflected only once.
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm kind of having that feeling.
So
too.
basically, because Mega Absol has no purpose to do anything to Mega Sableye other than play rough with it, which brings in the connotations of DNS, but that's another story. It would mean that Sableye
God damn
gets
it, Leo.
slapped in the face every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, just as before,
Team
that's why
support.
we have team support.
Alright, the next Pokemon on our list
Is Team Aqua's signature.
Mega Sharpedo.
Let's
Dun 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 dun
Dun dun dun dun dun dun dun dun
Dayum, dayum, dun dun dun.
Okay, guys, calm down. It's not that hype. As much as I want it to be, it's not as hype as I wanted it to be.
Yes. Well,
Enter Legend Hunter the Hype Killer.
Yeah.
Yes, it's compared to the other attackers on this list, who have been running at least at 145 or high up there. This thing does have a base 140 attack, a 110 special attack, and 105 speed. These are the important stats. But what the Game Freak seemed to go about doing was, rather than improving on what already made this Pokemon good, they were trying to fix the Pokemon that was already broken. And broken not in the good way. Its defenses were crap at 40 each or less. So what it got was defensive boosts, which
Mitigated the offensive boost that he could have gotten.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They should have just made it another physical sweeper.
For example, it only has 105 speed.
Yeah.
However, this thing does have a move pool that will put even Talonflame in shambles.
Don't forget,
Especially Talonflame.
and also it's got the ability Strong Jaw, and it learns all the elemental bites, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but what I'm interested in is the abilities that it had before. It had Rough Skin, which was crap, but it also got a Dream World ability that all Pokemon dream of getting, so that they can be as broken as Blaziken, who in fact got Speed Boost. This is one of the few Pokemon in the game that have Speed Boost, and are capable of abusing it nicely.
So what you could do is have it speed boost once, Mega Evolve it, and then unleash Hell.
Which it will have to do if you see Talonflame on the opposing team.
You can also Aqua Jet it, which means that you can actually connect first.
Well, that's the thing. If this thing does not get that speed boost, it will not outrun Talonflame. So, in order for it to take advantage of its base 140 physical attack versus Talonflame and not get Brave Birded into oblivion, you will have to use that speed boost just to survive. But after that, it's basically open season.
You don't have to necessarily. It does get agility after all, which gets you +2 off the bat, or even better.
Base 40 defense.
I'm just saying.
Base 40 defense.
So what you
You
would
come
have...
in and threaten something, and then you agility.
If you don't get hit first, just about anything could blow on it. It'll fall over if it doesn't Mega. Again, the problem is it's not that defensive oriented. As a matter of fact, it's basically a one-shot missile. You shoot it, it blows up, kills itself, and leaves a hole where the enemy's team used to be.
It is literally a shark torpedo. That's a good analogy for it.
Better than a Sharknado.
Oh god, don't remind me about that shit.
Honestly, this thing has a lot of potential, and I don't know why Legends hating on it so badly.
No, I'm not hating on it. I actually like this Pokemon a lot,
Because
especially...
this is one of the few Pokemon who's going to be able to actually rival Talonflame.
Yes, and it can be a troll in and of itself thanks to its dark typing, because of the fact that as a dark type, for some reason, it got Destiny Bond, which means that if it dies, it takes whatever killed it with it, which is hilarious.
Alright.
I think Strongjar also gets boosted by boost Crunch, which means that 80 base power move, which is boosted by SAB, gets even stronger.
Right.
Yeah, so Strong Jaw boosts by 1.5, right? So that would be...
So that almost is equivalent to...
That's a 3 times boosted Crunch.
Right.
Which is kind of nasty.
What do you mean, kind of? At base 140 attack, that's going to destroy a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah, that's going to take a bite out of the hole in your ship.
And even for Pokemon who are not vulnerable to any of its STABs, it has Super Fang. You go ahead and just eat half of whatever attack there is.
Excuse me while I vent my evil laughter.
So even if it isn't strong enough, it goes and takes bite out of half your HP, and then goes ahead and chomps on the rest with Crunch, Waterfall, or Aqua Jet.
Or it can go ahead... Okay, that 4th move slot is basically its suicide move. Super Fang is not going to KO any Pokemon, but it's going to weaken them to hell.
Yeah, it's going to take a huge chunk out of their life force.
And of course, if you don't mind losing your Mega, you can go ahead and equip Destiny Bond on it and take that Slowbro down in one shot.
This is an instance of what I'd like to call a suicide mega.
It is a suicide mega, but, well, it's a wall breaker. That's what it does.
It's a wall breaker.
It's a wall breaker / sweeper.
It's a wall eater. It just
So,
goes in and
again-
it takes them like a hoagie sandwich, makes like Sasha Grey, opens its huge ass mouth, and just takes it all in one gulp.
I do not hate this Pokemon. I hate what they did with it in that they were trying to fix it as opposed to make it more have it have more impact.
You mean
But-
like the next Pokemon on our list?
I would have to argue against that, but let's
Let's
go
go
with
ahead and
that.
talk about Mega Camerupt. Magma's Magma. Magma's Magma. Magma's Magma. Magma's Magma.
Magas Mega. Damn it, I'm doing it too.
I think I just said Magus Smegma.
Maxi from Team Magma.
Maxie's Magma Mega.
Enough faffing about. Let's look at its stats. Let's see. It gets a plus 20 to attack, plus 30 to defense, plus 40 to special attack.
Okay, let's just list off the important stats, which are its base 120 attack, its base 100 defense,
145 special attack, and 105 special defense.
And 20 speed.
okay,
20 speed.
20 speed. Slowbro outruns this thing! In case I didn't say it loud enough, Slowbro outruns this thing!
I'm pretty sure you just peaked the mic to all hell.
I'm pretty sure they heard you in all of Unova, their legend.
Yeah.
Yes, but this is bullshit.
Would
I
you
need to address it as such.
Would you like to borrow my screen pillow?
Oh no, I want to let our dear viewers know exactly what I'm feeling. I don't need a pillow to,
Muffle the scream. Next time you do something like that, I am going to smother you with it.
alright.
Anyway.
Now, what movie is that? Freaking Shawshank Redemption? What is it where you get smothered with a pillow?
Fuck if I know. Move on.
It's a
Okay,
horror
so
movie reference to
Fat
something.
Camel is fat.
Yeah, its design is apparently reflected in its stats. Again, that base 120, that base 20 speed. I wish I had 120.
Also, I'm reminded of a Roomba when I look at it.
You could mop the floor with this thing,
Yeah.
and you will.
Okay, so that base special attack is spectacular. I'm not complaining about its offenses. What I am complaining about are its defenses because it will need to rely on such.
Yeah.
It is going to be taking those hits thanks to that. I won't say it again.
You know, it does.
Keep in mind,
it does have.
Its ability now is Sheer Force, by the way.
Which is a bad move.
Oh, really?
Yes, because what was its ability that was running before?
Solid Rock.
Which allows it to actually tank the hits. Which it can no longer do. It is now, effectively, a volcano just sitting there.
Waiting to erupt.
Yes. Which is not a good idea to run on this thing, by the way, because Eruption is a terrible move, because it will never be at full HP when you send it out.
Did I mention that this thing gets rock polish?
It does. What are you going to do with base 40 speed?
Outrun Slowpoke.
Outrunning Slowbro! That's an achievement! The only way you're going to outrun anything is if you're running Trick Room on this bastard.
And actually, that one might not be a bad combo.
Actually, it would be the only way you're going to sweep with this thing because it would make this thing hilariously overpowered.
Oh god, like, just a stampeding volcano.
Yes, a stampeding volcano in a Trick Room. How do we fit the volcano in the Trick Room? I will never know. But
1, you open the door. 2, you put the volcano in the trick room. 3, you close the door to the trick room. That is how that works.
well, you forgot to lock the guy in there.
Why do you want to lock him in? We just bar the door. We sit down.
Yeah, but you're now talking about a volcano in an empty room. You lock the volcano in with the guy, close the door, and then walk away.
Moving on,
Now you have to make sure the volcano erupts so that way it doesn't cool it off with its 4 times weakness to water.
And
Alright.
that's the thing. This thing has a lot of weaknesses, especially to water.
Oh yeah, 4 times weakness.
4 times weak to water. Actually, it only is 4 times weak to water and 2 times weak to ground. Only 2
Oh,
weaknesses.
those are not common moves at all.
Yeah.
Only 2 weaknesses, despite what Legend wants to go ahead and implode about this thing. It's not a terrible thing like Vesuvius, after all.
Yeah, Vesuvius is... Well, it might be more effective. Vesuvius might be more effective than this thing. I do think that this thing is awkward.
At the end of the day, Legend just can only think of Pompeii.
Please,
If this thing gets to attack, it will hit hard. But, again, it will need to attack.
yeah.
Now
And-
we go from the Roomba to the Fluffy.
Yeah.
So,
Mega Altaria, I
a
believe.
giant flying feather duster.
I
I
believe.
had qualms about this thing before, in case you haven't noticed.
But, all I need to do is just plaster the GIF of it's so fluffy.
It is so fluffy.
I just need to just put that on a loop while we talk about this. But you know what?
fluffy, I could die.
Yes, you could.
I think
and it will.
What, it will die?
No, it will kill you so that you will die.
Okay, so it gets a boost to many of its offensive stats
Yeah.
and a decent...
It gets plus 40 to its attack, plus 20 to its defense, plus 40 to its special attack. So that means it's running 110 attack, 110 defense, and 110 special attack.
And
100
105 special defense, which it had before.
Yeah, which is an interesting lineup. 110, 110, 110.
Okay, so we're looking at a balanced Pokemon, and that might be its biggest problem. Because look at the Pokemon that we were dealing with before.
Yeah, they were kind of overpowered, but they were kind of over-specialized in one area.
Yes, they were specialized, which means that they could do their job effectively. Here's a Pokemon that tried to do everything, but it might come up short. It's a jack of all stats, but a master of none. That said, it's not a bad Pokemon.
No, it's
look
got
at its ability. Besides looking at its ability, look at its typing,
It went from Dragon Flying to a Dragon Fairy.
which retains its fighting type resistances, but loses its ground type immunity. But in exchange, gains an immunity to dragon type attacks and a resistance to dark type attacks.
Hello, fellas. What are you outraging about today?
And of course, it also lost a 4 times weakness to ice, and instead makes it a 2 times weakness to ice.
Which is not too bad. And not only that, its ability is Pixelate, which will turn normal type moves into fairy type moves, and then give it plus 30.
Hey guys, remember how annoying freaking Gardevoir was because of Hyper Voice? Now we have another Pokemon that does the exact same thing.
It learns Hyper Voice.
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
fuck.
Yeah, so this thing has an amazing move pool that it can take advantage of, using its balanced stats, making it an excellent mixed attacker capable of tanking a few hits and dishing out the damage that it needs to,
It also has access to Roost and Agility.
which gives it either bulk or sweeping potential.
Huh.
But the best thing that it can do is probably Dragon Dance.
Oh right, I forgot it does also get Dragon Dance.
Yes, it's a dragon bird that can Dragon Dance and Feather dust you off the mantle peaks.
Well,
Why were you up there? I don't know, but anyway.
well, its return goes ahead and covers you in a cloud of fairy dust, and then Slugger punches you in the face.
Oh, dear God.
What was the attack calculation you did for a Pixelate boosted return?
Oh,
Let's
let
see.
me go ahead and look at this real quick.
Let's see, 100 norm. It's 100.
It's like 103, 105. It's not exact.
Okay, so without STAB, it's a base 133. With STAB, which multiplies that by 1.5,
You're approaching 190.
Yeah.
Arguably making Pixelate return off of Altaria the strongest fairy type move in the game.
add to that you can Dragon Dance.
Holy hell.
Exactly.
Dragons beware, for the Dovahkiin is fluffy.
Now I'm just picturing the Dovahkiin wearing a fluffy feather boa.
No.
It's
It's
it's an Altaria wearing the iron
dragon
helmet.
horn. The dragon horn, yes.
Someone find me someone make that Photoshop image for me. I
And it can
want
Fusro down with Hyper Voice.
Yes, it can.
someone please make that an image. Someone please make that. I will pay money for
The
it.
Dovahkiin.
The
I
Dova
want
bird.
that. I want that postered in my bedroom.
Alright.
Dova Bird aside, we also got
Wario! Ha ha ha!
Oh, by the way, this is the Pokemon that we get from the demo for the U.S.
Mega Glalie.
Why? I wish that it got more.
They see me trolling. They hate it.
I'm hating.
Cause all I'm thinking about is OmegaRuby and Sapphire.
Okay, let's make a
That
super
was horrible.
Okay, let's make a super sweeper. Make it an ice type,
What?
and that's basically all I have to say about it. That said, I do like its ability, Refrigerate, which turns it's basically Aerolate and Pixelate for
Ice types.
ice types,
Mhm.
which makes it also have that ridiculously overpowered return,
Hey,
but
Legend.
as an ice type.
Hey, Legend.
What's up?
You know what this Pokemon gets before it Mega Evolves?
Oh, what?
Moody.
Ban it. It's already banned. It's already banned, friends.
God,
It's
I
already
hate
banned.
fighting those moody Pokemon.
We don't fight those moody Pokemon. They were banned from the start.
No, they weren't. They're still in that freaking area where you have to battle Pokemon.
So they have Earthquake, Return, Shadow Ball, Facade. Okay, stop right there. Refrigerate boosted explosion.
Okay, and I have to reiterate, this thing doesn't have bad attacking stats.
No,
It
yeah.
has 120 in both physical and special, and runs 100 speed to boot.
This also gets Super Fang.
And it also gets Super Fan. Because
Well, it's got
going
the giant mouth that can basically bite your head off. Seriously, that image of Glalie Mega Evolve is just creepy as fuck.
Yeah, and
Wait,
this thing
wait.
also gets Shadow Ball.
All we need is a freaking creepypasta for it, and we have our rage material for next year.
Give it time.
Man, give it time.
Although I think next year we're actually doing that freaking Grim Reaper Gardevoir creepypasta.
Oh, thanks for the spoilers. But anyway,
It's
yeah.
not decided yet.
It's not decided yet. That's just one idea we're throwing up. Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
this thing will make you throw up.
Yeah,
this thing is what I'd like to call another suicide mega, maybe.
yeah, it's a suicide
Quite
run.
literally, especially if you decide to run. If you refrigerate boosted explosion.
Remind me, what's the base power of Explosion?
250 points.
Plus 30.
Plus, it's at least 60 boosted for 200 base damage.
And then it gets STAB.
And then it gets ACB on it, so that's at least roughly 310.
310.
Welcome back, suicide attacker!
So, roughly about 500 base power.
That's one way to kill a dragon.
What do you mean, a dragon? It kills all dragons. I think even Dialga is scared of this thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It also has access to spikes.
It gets utilitarian abilities, but again, I ask you, what is going to... what can it survive besides an ice-type attack?
Not much.
Yeah.
Exactly. At
Yeah.
base 80 defenses, it's...
I'm pretty sure Leo
Man.
talked in great detail about ice types in their
Yeah.
stats.
Granted, this thing also gets Ice Shard, so I mean, it's not all bad.
It's not all bad, but...
But you definitely gonna have to pick it. I don't see it.
It's a very unique playstyle, I'd say that.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's basically going to hijack its trainer's team. You're going to have to build the team around this thing
Yeah.
in order to make this thing even have a shot at
Then again, Megas do that to begin with, I find.
Well, with the exception of Mega Swampert,
Uh-huh.
who basically you can fit onto any team and you're good.
No, that's
By the way,
Blaziken.
speaking of Dragon Slayers, let's go ahead and talk about a real dragon.
No, it's not. It's not a real dragon.
Mega Salamence?
Yeah, it's not a dragon. Okay, let me phrase this properly. It is not due by virtue of its dragon typing that this thing is going to kick your ass.
No.
And I will explain it further.
Yeah.
Go ahead and list off its important stats.
Let's see. It's now got 145 attack, 130 defense, 120 special attack, and 120 speed.
Okay, and now its other important stats.
It's 90 special defense, and it's 95 HP.
Well, no. Its important stat of defense.
Yeah, 130.
As a regular Salamence, it has access to Intimidate. But here's the crazy part. Intimidate gives you a 1.5 defensive boost by virtue of lowering the other guy's physical attack.
Uh-huh.
But if the other guy switches, that defensive boost is no longer there.
Yeah.
This thing,
Just got a plus 50 boost when it megas.
which means that this thing actually is 10 points more bulky than it was after a normal Salamence's Intimidate. And it's permanent.
On top of that, if you decide to go ahead and use Moxie, you can farm for single point attack boost like you're farming for humanity, and then Mega Evolve and gain the defense boost.
Yeah.
And its ability is Aerialate.
And this is why I say we are never running a dragon type attack on this thing again unless it's special. Why? Because it now has Return,
Yep.
which is now a flying type base 133 without STAB off of that 140 physical attack.
So we were making fun of the flying one beforehand. So this one does flying.
This one does flying, which, by the way, it can cover with its regular coverage moves in Earthquake and Fire Blast.
Yeah.
which just about sums up how it's going to annihilate all other Pokemon. Just replace the Dragon type with Flying type and you're good.
Yeah. No kidding.
And that Flying type attack will wreck just about everything else.
It also has double edge, so if you want to go high risk, high reward, you can do that too.
Jesus
Which gives you base 180 before STAB.
Yeah, but I personally would like return because it doesn't hit you in return.
Well, if you want to go ahead and show Talonflame how the flying type attacks are supposed to be done, you can do it that way.
Well, Talonflame will still hit you first. That's the problem.
Yeah. But it's a pretty good Pokemon. It's
What do you mean pretty good? This is an amazing Pokemon.
Yeah, and I really love the gif of it having a croissant for wings.
Yep. But the thing is, outside of revenge killing, you can't counter it.
The whole thing about this Pokemon, it was that it was dreaming about flying.
And now its Flying type is its most devastating potential.
Yeah, this thing
We
is...
have become full croissant.
Yep. It is going to it's going to take a huge bite out of its competition.
It's the piece de resistance.
Alright, you chokers. Let's talk about something that's going to be really kind of scary.
You would lay butter on top of the.
No, it goes ahead, lays the butter on it, then it goes ahead, lightly toasts it with Fire Blast on 120 for 3 seconds. Then it goes ahead and proceeds to serve to its trainer.
Can I continue?
Yeah, let's go ahead and continue.
Mega Metagross.
Hey, this thing's back. Hey, look, it's a Panzer.
Yeah.
We're looking at a floating
Tank.
8-armed Panzer tank.
Yeah. Unleash the Panzers.
Okay, so its important stats are its ridiculous 145 attack, which is not as strong as Swampert and Beedrill, but considering that it's Metagross...
Base 150 physical defense.
105 special attack and 110 special defense and 110 speed.
Okay, is there anything this Pokemon can't do?
It cannot...
It cannot learn to love.
Which means that it's a heartless, cold-blooded killer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, it's basically what sums it up.
And
Thanks
then-
to its ability Tough Claws, its physical attacks go up even further.
Yeah.
And
Oh god, Meteor Mash on this thing.
kiss your fairy types goodbye, even if their name is Diancie with max HP and physical defense.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of Diancie it is. It's not surviving this motherfucker.
I don't give a
Bullet
fucking
punch to the face, son.
No, you don't need Bullet Punch. Just step on it.
Meteor Mash. I don't give a fuck if that Diancie's Mega. It's dead.
Especially if it's Mega. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
You didn't read the notes. You don't know what happened to it.
Keep in mind, I was busy trying to kill Ornstein and Smaug, who was another pain in the ass.
We sent out the notes after you did that.
No, I don't give a shit.
Anyway, so this thing now...
Neither is this thing, apparently.
Yeah, this thing outruns Infernape by 2 points. Goddamn. It has ridiculous defense in 150, and it has a usable special attack with which it can use Flash Cannon if you're feeling frisky.
Oh my.
Again, what does this thing not do? Oh, right. What happened to its typing?
Well, they went ahead and made it vulnerable to Ghost and Dark type attacks, which means you're now weak to Ghost.
Well,
Yes.
well, you're not weak to Ghost. You just take normal damage. Oh wait, yeah,
No,
you do.
You're weak to Ghost.
Oh right, because it's a Psychic type as well.
Yep, it can wall out fighting type attackers. Don't get me wrong. It is a wonderful wall as well as, well, physical tank.
Mhm.
Problem is, of course, those special ghost type attacks will still eat through it, and Dark Pulse will also give it a brand new hole. But outside of that,
Not much.
not much.
And really, there aren't too many Ghost types in the metagame outside
Gengar.
of Gengar and Aegislash.
Which got banned.
Aegislash got banned?
Yes.
It finally got banned.
Yep.
Damn, there went my team out the window.
Yeah, mine too. Okay. But it might see a return with this thing on the loose.
Aw.
Because what else are you going to use to stop it?
Fair enough.
But there are some other ways to stop it. It is now using Tough Claws as opposed to Clear Body.
So it is susceptible to stats now.
Stat drops will affect it, Intimidate will lower it, and
Burn is still there.
Burn was always there.
Yeah.
But, again,
It's still going to be a nightmare to fight.
Yeah, if you see this thing on the opponent's team, there's a very good chance this thing's going to be a Mega.
Why am I picturing World War I with Mega Metagrosses?
This is Germany. This is Germany in a nutshell.
So
It's the Blitzkrieg of Doom.
So does that make? I'm about to make a Steven Stone Adolf Hitler reference.
I don't know how you could connect those two.
Well, you just said German.
They're basically a German tank.
It is basically a floating Panzer with a... I've said that before. Let's go ahead and...
Okay, I think we just broke legend.
No.
Looking at our next guy on the list.
I didn't have much to say about the next Pokemon on our list.
Okay,
because
good, then I will
I've
have
already
much to
said much about it.
So Mega
Ornstein's Spear.
Mega Rayquaza, who has 180 physical attack, 180 special attack, 115 speed.
Remember when we were talking about base 150 physical attackers? Weren't those the good old days, guys?
Yeah.
And then it has a new attack in
Dragon Ascent.
which is the strongest flying type move supposedly in the game.
Does it tell us what it's
Effects or base power, I did not get those for this. I think they have them already, but it is supposed to be. But if it's anything compared to what we've seen for Roar of Time, Spatial Rend, any of the signature attacks, it's gonna be broken.
And I think we broke legend because he's giggling like a madman.
I am a madman. This thing drove me crazy already.
So yeah,
I don't have much to say.
it's
about
gonna
it.
be crazy.
So I'm going to go ahead and guess like maybe what base 160, maybe 170 attack.
I would say 160. I'd say anywhere between
When
120 and
did we
140.
make Groudon and Kyogre feel inadequate again?
When we unleash this nightmare. By the way, it looks glorious when it flies.
All right,
Oh man.
we might have to go ahead and take a small break so we can go take Legend to the strip club.
Wait, what?
What?
Well, that's the next Pokemon on the list is Megalopunny.
Oh fuck.
And he's back to normal. Congratulations.
God damn it, Leo.
Should we go take you to the ATM to get singles first?
I will murder you, Leo.
You sound so happy about that phrase.
So, Megalopunny, 136 physical attack, 94 physical defense, 96 special defense, and 135 speed.
Not
Okay,
only
so-
that, but it also got a normal and fighting typing.
Yes.
Okay. So why would we be excited about Mega Lopunny? I mean, compared to the physical...
Scrappy.
Hang on. Compared to the attackers we've seen on the list, it's not as powerful, and it's not nearly as fast as some others.
Not as nearly as powerful as fast, but boy, does it enjoy the coverage.
Yeah, so this thing benefits from incredible offensive presence. There is no Pokemon in the game that can stand up to its STAB combo and not come out without a scratch.
Especially because it has Scrappy, which means ghost types are now affected by normal and fighting type attacks.
Ooh, nice.
It also has Limber, which means it can't be Thunder Wave or Paralyzed at the start of when it enters.
But once it gets Scrappy, that is going to go out the window.
Yeah.
That said, ghost types now have to fear this thing because of its freaking ability to punch through phantasms.
Uh-huh. And does it learn close combat?
It got high jump kick instead. Which is not going to go through those ghosts, it's going to hit them straight on in the face.
And send them onto the afterlife.
They were already there, but they're now further into hell.
In addition to the E-punches, it also learns Drain Punch.
Because it needs longevity.
So, high jump kick, drain punch, return.
Oh, by the way, did we mention that its defenses are not crap?
Oh yeah, it's not crap. Let's see, what are its stats again? Let's see. 65 HP, meh. 136 HP, holy crap.
No, that's not HP, that's your attack.
Attack, 136 attack, holy crap. 94 defense, okay. 54 special attack, meh.
You were never using that anyway.
96 special defense, nice. 135 speed, motherfuckers.
Yeah, but again, its defenses are not terrible.
No,
it
it's
can
not.
actually, it can stand up to a little bit before it goes down
Yeah.
and still hit hard.
It will probably take like maybe 2 hits to knock it out, or unless you're using like something like a good psychic attack, it'll probably 1-hit KO it.
Right, if you don't get hit in the face with a normal type return or double edge. Does it learn double edge?
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't need it.
Yeah,
Return is enough.
Mega Alakazam would probably be would probably outspeed it.
Probably, but it's not going to switch in on it.
No, it's not.
It's going to revenge kill it.
Yes.
More than anything else. Which is wonderful.
Quick attack.
And it gets quick attack.
Which
It gets quick attack.
Yeah, it's
With
one,
STAV.
yes.
So
Yeah.
priority normal.
Priority normal type attack off of 136 attack. Can it boost its physical attack?
No, it cannot. It can only boost its speed as of what I'm reading. Yeah, I think it might get power up punch, but I'm not entirely sure.
What about workup?
Work up, no.
Damn.
Dang it!
Actually, no. Yes, it does get work up.
Which
This one
means
does
that
get work up.
Which means it can boost its middling 54 attack special attack, but the important part is 136 times 1.5.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. That's all you need.
Yep.
So, are you going to respect the stripper now? Legend?
I'll pay the tip.
Oh dear God! All right, moving on from the bunny gal to let's see. The paladin.
You know what? I'm surprised you didn't call her a bimbo this time.
Or go hopping mad.
I'm already contemplating Leo's murder right now.
And apparently you're contemplating mine too. Let's
Yeah.
see what we got here.
Mega Gallade.
I didn't have a lot to say about it because this thing is basically another fix-up that Game Freak did.
Unlike the other two that Legend was complaining about.
This thing did have an amazing move pool beforehand and decent stats to boot.
Yeah.
What happened only made a good Pokemon amazing.
Yeah. It gets plus 40 to its attack, making it a 165 attack. Holy crap!
What?
165 attack.
What?
Yeah.
165 attack?
What was the name of that legendary paladin in Dark Souls?
Oh, Leroy?
Artorias or Leroy?
Both.
Go
Okay, I'm naming a Gallade Artorias.
for it. Go for whatever you like.
It has E-punches, dual chop, close combat, Zen headbutt,
And,
shadow sneak.
And defenses that don't suck.
It learns Shadow Sneak.
And 110 attack. 110 speed to abuse that with, too.
Yeah,
Yes.
and 115 special defense, so it's not going to go down that badly.
Like I said, it's a Pokemon that got fixed.
Yeah.
This thing is going to be banned.
It's not going to be banned.
Yes, it's going to be banned.
It's
Oh,
got
it's
inner
not.
focus. Which
Yeah,
which
which
just
means you
prevents
can't flinch it.
Yeah.
But with
What was
this-
its ability beforehand?
It had a choice between Steadfast, which raises speed every time you get flinched, and Justified, which raises attack when hit with a Dark-type move.
So, Justified, Mega Evolve.
And then you're
You're
basically... But again, you don't need to do that. You can just Sword Stance using your decent defenses, or just Sword Stance on the Switch, and plow right through the team. Because 165 times 2, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that Gallade's also coming with us to the strip club then.
Well, he's already peeled the entire enemy team apart. Why not give him a reward?
Alright, next one was another kind
But
of...
they aren't in the same age group.
No, they're not.
Anyway, here's one that kind of intrigued me because I think it's like the only Gen 5 Pokemon that's a Mega now.
Which is?
Audino.
I don't know about this, guys.
But I'm...
Yeah, I don't know.
You made me do a rim shot, I will murder you.
Rim job or rim shot? I guess you're coming to the strip club too then.
Why? Anyway, Mega
I'm going to have to
Audino...
explain to you later, aren't I?
Yes. Anyway, Mega Audino. 103 HP, 60 attack, 126 defense, 80 special attack, 126 special defense, and 50 speed.
Its important stats are its defenses, which got a significant upgrade,
Yeah.
as well as its middling special attack.
It also went from normal to a normal fairy and has the ability Healer.
Healer is not that good, honestly. It's better for double battles, but outside of those, it's basically pointless.
Yeah.
But again, its important aspects are its defenses and its new typing.
Yeah.
Normal Fairy gives it an immunity to ghost types, as well as a neutrality to fighting type attacks.
As well as an immunity to dragons.
Immunity to dragons and resistance to dark. Yes.
Yeah.
Which is fairly outstanding. It is the only normal type in the game that can do so. Problem is, this thing's a Mega Pokemon.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is it'll rob the team of a Mega Evolution that I really don't like the way it looks.
Not to mention that unlike Chansey and Blissey, who can heal you outright to full health thanks to their wish,
Or
this
using
thing-
their soft boiled ability.
No, soft boil heals yourself. Wish heals your fellow Pokemon.
Yeah.
This thing does not have as great a healing potential as Chansey or Blissey. That said, it's not a bad idea for it. But again, it's a Mega Pokemon. So unless you don't mind running with this Pokemon, which will be a fairly fantastic White Mage, I don't think it's a good idea to do so.
I suppose that's why there are more nurses around than doctors.
Alright then, so as you said in your notes, this Pokemon takes on the White Mage role, but unlike in Final Fantasy,
There are more risks to using it than you think.
yep. So, next on our list is some Pokemon that have been announced for a while now. First off is Mega Diancie.
Now, let's note what happened to its stats. But before that, go ahead. Go ahead and list what happened to the stat changes first of all.
It got plus 60 attack, lost 40 defense, plus 60 special attack, lost 40 special defense, and got 60 speed.
So it went from wall to sweeper,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the thing was a freaking tank before.
And it isn't a terrible. It doesn't have terrible defenses as a result either.
Mhm.
So yeah, this thing can pull a 180 on your ass and go straight for the jugular.
Mhm.
That is fairly unique.
Yeah.
It's basically an Aegislash with Mega ability,
And it's got Magic Bounce as well.
which means that you also get to troll those poor Foretrises.
Yeah. So we've already mentioned that before, so it's a good Pokemon. It's
a fantastic Pokemon.
yeah. I just don't know if I'd use it on my team or not.
You could build a team around it.
True, but keep in mind, I'm pretty adverse to using legendaries on my team.
That said, I don't think this thing would be bad for use in regular play.
True, although I'm
Yeah.
wondering if it's going to be OU or Uber. And if it's in Uber, then it's out of my league.
I don't know, we'll see.
160 offenses, though.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
Well, then again, Kieran Black was in OU for the longest time that had 170 physical attack. So,
Uh-huh.
So it does have potential.
Alright, so first off,
and then we have lastly are the legendaries.
yeah, the two legendaries that are on the cover of the two new games. First,
Kyogre and Groudon in their
Fir-
primal forms.
First off, Primal Kyogre gets the ability Primordial Sea, which is a really heavy-duty rain that lasts...
We've already explained. I think we've already
yeah,
gone over
yeah,
that
we did
in
talk
previous
about it in
podcasts.
podcasts.
But in case it hasn't been read over before, Primordial Sea basically neutralizes all fire type attacks.
And boosts water as well as thunder.
And gives you permanent rain so long as Kyogre is out on the field. The
Okay.
moment it switches out, it stops.
Next off is its stats, which gets a plus 50 to attack,
With us, it doesn't really need it, but double it is going to hit like a bitch now,
plus 30 special attack, boosting it to 180,
which it did not need. It did not need this,
and then a plus 20 to its special defense, bringing it to 160.
which it also did not need. Think of a calm mind with this motherfucker now. You don't need it, but I am not adverse to using it and laughing like a maniac as I take over the world with it.
Do you still have that Kyogre from your first playthrough?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Holy crap, that thing is ancient.
It's more ancient now, thanks to its reversion of ability.
Hopefully it's got good stats. Anyway, next off is Primal Groudon, which now became a Ground Fire, and got the Desolate Land ability, which is like Primordial Sea.
Only a lot more useful for this Pokemon.
Only Sun,
Yeah, it's Sun, boosts Fire.
And makes it immune to water type attacks.
which it would otherwise be 4 times weak to.
Yes, which is kind of scary.
This thing also is world domination material.
It's got plus 30 attack, bringing it to 180, plus the 20 defense, which is...
180!
Hello, Rayquaza!
All over again!
Yeah. And,
Why?
and then plus 20 to its defense, which gives it to 160, plus 50 to its special attack, which brings it to...
150.
No, that's... 150 special attack, so Fire Blast on this thing. Eruption.
With STAB
With STAB.
and Sun Boost.
Yes.
Solar Beam.
Why does Kyogre keep getting gypped on its typing? Oh wait, because it doesn't need it. Remember Water Spout, guys? Remember that? Okay, in case our viewers do not know, Water Spout off of Kyogre with choice specs was the single most powerful special attack in the game, period. There was nothing stronger. This thing,
now.
with one exception perhaps in a Hyper Beam off of a Porygon Z, which could basically one-hit KO Blissey.
Oh shit!
But still, this thing
Is amazing.
It-
You can go ahead and hear One Winged Angel play in the background as you take over the world with this thing.
Oh god, just standing on top of Kyogre or Groudon and just watching the chaos ensue.
Yes.
So, yeah, I hate to say it, but all the other Uber legendaries at this point now feel completely and utterly inadequate.
Even God must bow before the
Technically,
sake of
God
the
only had base 700 stats. These two fuckers had 770.
Okay, which means that in the next generation redo, they're probably going to give Arceus a
Mega Arceus. We're just giving God a mega form.
Why just...
This isn't even my final form.
But then,
I'm now picturing it with that 1,000 hands that it mentioned in the mythology.
and now freaking Arceus but then that would only leave Arceus as a normal type.
True.
Perhaps, yes.
Remind me, is there a normal plate?
No, there isn't.
You don't need a normal plate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So then we don't really have. Then the normal plate becomes his Mega Stone.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. All right. And one more has been kind of mentioned through the hack from the notes is Hoopa gets a Mega, but it hasn't been
Koopa was the fire-water type, right?
No, that's Volcanion. Hoopa is the ghost
psychic.
Ghost psychic sort of thing that can basically appear through holes.
Yeah.
Not in the good way.
Yeah. Why am I picturing a Looney Tune cartoon?
Basically, because that's his power.
Yeah.
Literally, those black holes that you can pop your head into anywhere, that's what he can do for power.
Yeah.
So, it's been released, but considering you don't even know if the regular Pokemon is coming out anytime soon,
We'll just leave it be. I wonder if Volcanion will get one as well.
that's a very interesting point, considering the fact that now Diancie and Hoopa have Megas.
But neither of these Pokemon have been released yet, so...
True, so we might figure that out later, but other than that, we've basically covered every Mega that has been announced. There might be more coming out.
Although, I don't think we'll be having to do another mini podcast like this.
No, we'll probably just we'll mention it in our next podcast. Although technically with the length of this, it's now a full-blown podcast.
Hey, so much for mini. This is Leo Force.
This is Death Zero.
And Legend Hunter signing out.
Ciao, guys.
Later.
Hey, you stole my chow.